Kylie from CantripsMedia.com, and I'm here to talk to you today about why you should be using a Discbound journal in your D&D campaign. So let's dive in. So first, what is it? A Discbound journal is simply a journal bound with discs. So they use circular discs that have a little ridge on the outside. These come in different sizes. They come in plastic, metal, wood. Though if you bought a journal from CantripsMedia.com, it will be made out of plastic. And if you go to a store or any place like that, most likely it'll be made out of plastic. It's just cheaper to make. There are a lot of benefits to a disc-bound journal. One of the biggest ones is that you can actually take out a page and move it anywhere. This is one of the things that I find most useful in my D&D campaigns. Simply moving a section closer to where I need it as a DM, or moving my pages and arranging them just so I take up less table space as a player. But regardless, you can very easily, gently tug on the edge of the page and pull it out. And then if you need to put it back in, simply push down on the tabs around the discs and it'll just kind of snap back into place. This also leads itself to the second one, where you can actually punch any piece of paper and be able to stick it into a disc-bound journal. So say I need something off of D&D Beyond, but I don't want to handwrite every single thing into my journal. I can just print a page out, stick it into my punch, and then stick it right into my journal without issue. I've even done this with note cards, with sticky notes, scraps of paper I had on hand at the table, things like that. So you can just throw any size sheet of paper really into your disc-bound notebook and keep it all in one place. Another good thing about the type of binding is that your book will lay flat, but it also acts kind of like a spiral bound notebook in the fact that you can flip it around and have just the one page out. Like I said, you can punch any page into your notebook, but it does require buying a punch. Now, I have two different punches. I have the Arc Staples punch, and then I have a Lavender punch. They are a little bit different. However, it doesn't matter what punch you use or what brand of paper you buy. They all work interchangeably. There are just some minor differences that you should be aware of. For me personally, the Arc I used in the beginning, and it does punch fewer pages. However, they also are a little bit shorter, so that binding is much closer to the end, and the mushroom shape is a little smaller. For the Lavender punch, I found that the opening for the mushroom hole was just a little bit wider, and it's just a little bit further into the page than the Arc one. So I now use the Lavender exclusively for inner pages because it just makes it a little bit easier to turn the pages on the rings. And I use the Arc punch typically for my covers just because I don't really need those to move as much when I have the book closed. One of the best things about a disc-bound notebook, though, is that you can have organization your way. And what I mean by this is whatever style of organization, maybe you want all of your NPCs in one place, all of your locations in one place, all of your session notes in one place. You can do that. Or you could do something like I do, which is kind of a hybrid. So I have those sections out individually, but I also pull out the pages that I need for the session and put them closer to my session notes page. So say, for instance, we're playing Hoard of the Dragon Queen in my campaign that I DM, and in the beginning, you're in the town of Greenest. Well, a lot's going down on that first night, so you might need all of the stats for a particular monster. You might need the map of the town. You might need to have your players' stats on hand and things like that, just because it's such a fast-paced night, trying not to give any spoilers. However, in my player's journal version that I use for my other campaign, I actually don't have to pull all of those together. Instead, what I tend to do is write my notes during the session and then come back later and archive them so that I can find them more easily. That just works better as a player, in my perspective, and I don't need to keep as many parts in my head at that time. At Cantrips Media, we use an 8-disc system which is actually typically standard. And it wasn't that way when I first started the shop, but lots of things have happened since then. Now they're an 8-disc version. And I did this because a lot of places actually sell paper that will go with an 8-disc system. So if you were to buy any inserts at a store, which you can go to Staples. Like I said, they have the Arc brand, which is like their own brand, but they also have a Martha Stewart brand, which has higher quality paper, but you're paying for the Martha Stewart name. Happy Planner is another big one that exists that is at a lot of craft stores, and if you talk to any planner nerds, they're probably familiar with that one. They also offer lots of cool stickers, but none of them are really D&D related. Obviously, any of those brands that you buy won't fit in our DM version because they are 2 different sizes. So while you can fit them in there, it won't reach out towards the edge of the book. If you like that video, hit the like button so I know what to continue making. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys! To the system, there are slight differences. So, Ash Kitty, I'm trying to film a video here. What is this? Do you want to be a star? You want to be a YouTube star? You want to be a YouTube star? D&D campaign notes. As my cats hiss at each other. You both are about to get locked out. That was good though.